This is the way it feels to move through summer in Lululemon. Iconic Align softness without the front seam. For our smoothest look and feel ever, summer won't know what hit it. Stretch your limits in the non-stop flexibility of the new Lululemon Align No-Line Pant in select stores and at Lululemon.com.
We
are
cultivate.
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 Cultivate. We are cultivate.
Hello and welcome to Ye Olde Crime, where we discuss the funny, strange, and obscure crimes of yesteryear. I'm your host, Lindsay Valenti, and with me is my sister and co-host, Maddie Stengel.
Hello.
Hello there.
Fancy seeing you here.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nothing in the corrections cubby, but I do have something from the kudos closet.
Wow.
So we have a new monthly sustainer over on Buy Me a Coffee.
Whoa.
So thank you so much to June R.
Thank you, June.
I reached out to her to find out where to send her stickers, and then I realized that I never sent Mariam her stickers. So I reached out to her and I was like, I am garbage. Where do you live?
Yeah.
And she was like, it's okay. No worries. And I was like,
Does
okay.
she get an extra sticker now?
She's getting 2 extra stickers because
Heck yeah.
Just like last week, this is also going to be a bit of a shorter episode.
Okay.
This week, we'll be discussing William G. Bruce.
Ooh. A man with 3 first names, I'm assuming?
Kinda. I don't know what the G stands for. Gerald, maybe?
Gerald, Gregory.
Gunner.
I was going to say Groy, but that's not a name.
I was going to say Geronimo.
Yeah, we're really good at this.
William Geronimo Bruce. That old chestnut.
That old chestnut. Third in his name.
Information was pulled from the following sources: a 2025 Nev Sodoma article, 2016 Mandy Eve Barnett blog post, Atlas Obscura, 2 Find a Grave listings, and the Mount Vernon Historical Society newsletter. So thank you to Carrie Ann for her research assistance on this episode, and links to all of these articles will be included in the show notes. We wouldn't be here without support from listeners like you. If you're interested in supporting us financially, you can leave a one-time or monthly donation over on Buy Me a Coffee or our Venmo page. Links are in the show notes. And we make a point of reaching out to send you a thank you note and stickers to show our appreciation.
Want to show your support in a more concrete way? Pick up some Ye Olde Crime merch over at our TeePublic shop. We shout out whenever there is a sale each month, and we work to make sure we're creating new designs and changing it up whenever possible. And hey, thanks for listening.
William G. Bruce was born on February 1st, 1819, the second of 5 children born to Captain William Bruce and his wife, Hannah Jones Bruce.
Nice.
His siblings included Jane T. Bruce Dunbar, who was born 3 years prior in 1816, Frances E. Fanny Bruce Boardman, who was born in 1821.
Why do they all have different last names?
Because they got married. All right, I'll fix it.
No. It was just throwing me off that they were having their like full adult names.
Oh yeah.
Because I was like, do they all have different parents? I don't understand.
Nope. These are girls, and they got married, and so they took their husbands' names.
Got it. As one does.
As one does, especially back then.
Especially back then. Yep.
Frances E. Fanny Bruce Boardman, who was born in 1821. Nancy B. Bruce Richardson, who was born in 1825. And Artemis F. Bruce, who was born in 1830 but passed away the following year in 1831.
Oh, I was just gonna say you don't hear about a lot of Artemises. That's
Yeah.
a cute name.
And William and his sisters all lived into adulthood, and Artemis was a boy, and he did not make it.
That's sad.
Born and raised in Mount Vernon, New Hampshire, his father was a blacksmith, and his parents were married for 57 years.
Nice. Good for them. That, like, honestly, living that long during that time is crazy. And then living that long and being married that long is even crazier during that time.
Yep. Yeah, his parents passed away just 3 days apart in 1871.
Oh, my heart.
William's grandfather, Reverend John Bruce, moved to Mount Vernon from Marlborough, Massachusetts in December of 1784, when he was invited to preach at the not yet built Mount Vernon Congregational Church.
Okay.
He would become its first ordained pastor, receive 120 pounds, or 15,500 pounds today.
For his salary? Oh, no.
No. So that was like his sign-on bonus. And then a salary of 60 pounds, or 7,700 pounds today, in addition to 20 cords of wood a year.
That's huge for somebody of in his profession.
Mm-hmm.
They must have really wanted him.
He must have been awesome.
I hope so.
Like-
I'm just gonna go with that. Let's just assume he was like a really cool dude, and they were wooing the heck out of him.
Mm-hmm. Now, I had to look it up because I had no idea what a cord of wood meant, but essentially, it is 128 cubic feet of timber, or around 600 to 800 logs, depending on how they are cut and stacked, which would be 4 feet wide, 4 feet high, and 8 feet long.
So essentially, they're giving him the materials to build a house or a structure or like repair the church or something. Like they're giving him the material as opposed to just giving him property
I think so. I also
or
took it to
money
mean like,
for the property.
so that would equate to 12,000 to 14,000 logs of wood per year.
That's insane. So I wonder if that was maybe like,
Well, I almost took it like they were essentially paying his utilities.
oh, yeah, maybe.
You know what I mean? Like for
Yeah.
himself and the congregation and the church. Like that was just like part of the payment. So he wouldn't have to take his salary to heat the church as well as his own home. But I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
he could have also used some of it to make his own house. I don't know. But
Mhm.
I just thought that was a crazy amount of wood for
Yeah.
like a year.
Yeah, that's a statement. Especially
Mhm.
with like the bonus is really shocking
Mhm.
for that time too. Cause like that's a lot of money to just like scrounge up.
Well, and I wonder if maybe they gave him that much as
Like
like
help him move or something.
yeah, to like help him move, pay to build a house, like
Establish himself, find a home, like move and find a home, that kind of thing, potentially.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
William's grandfather married Lois Wilkins, and the pair had 7 children together who were all born and raised on a farm located west of the village in Mount Vernon.
Nice. Okay, so he got a farm.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge. Especially in New Hampshire. Like I feel like there isn't a lot of
There's not a whole lot
there's not a lot of space, there's not a lot of
square
land.
footage. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you get your own farmland in that state, that's got to be pretty significant, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Like even an acre would be significant.
Mm-hmm. The Reverend was known locally as quote-unquote good Mr. Bruce,
Oh,
and served the community for 24 years as its pastor before his untimely death in 1809 from apoplexy, or what today we would categorize as a cerebral hemorrhage or stroke.
that's too bad. I'm really glad it was like a medical thing though, and not like Like the freak accident where like somebody pushed him in front of a train or something.
Or he was like
Yeah.
trampled by a horse or something.
Yeah, like something really, like he got kicked by a horse or something.
Yeah.
Crazy. Because farming accidents, man.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of ways to die on a farm.
Mm-hmm. As for William, he became a mechanic with his own shop and a variety of tools. He would go on to marry a woman named Augusta Whitmore, who was born on May 12th, 1825. I couldn't locate the date of when they got married, but she was 6 years younger than he was. So not like a huge age gap.
Not a huge age gap, but enough where like the understanding might be a little different.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
The couple would live within the village proper at 9 North Main Street, but they would never have any children.
Okay.
I'm not sure why, but they just wouldn't have kids. And that's fine.
Okay. Yeah.
In 1848, a recent Dartmouth graduate named George Stevens moved to Mount Vernon to teach at the high school. This is like a weird side tangent, but it'll come back later.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, once word got out about Mr. Stevens, they quickly had too many students interested in attending school and not enough school to house them all.
So he needs his wood.
So, the town wished to build a larger permanent academy, and in November of 1848, the district voted to sell 102 shares in the school to raise the necessary funds for its construction.
That's awesome. Good for them.
Shares were $5 each, or $203 today.
Dang.
And William bought 1 share. 55 others also purchased shares, and before long, the Appleton Academy was built.
Cute. It even has a cute name.
Mm-hmm. Like his father, uncles, and cousins, William was very involved with Mount Vernon's politics, as well as those of the state of New Hampshire.
Okay.
Throughout his life, he served as the collector and treasurer for the village of Mount Vernon. He was a selectman 6 times, and was also a representative in the state legislature in 1850 at the age of 31.
Nice. Active at a young age.
Mm-hmm. William was most well known for his love of hunting, particularly foxes, which I don't like.
I don't like, but I feel like it was probably a really tough animal to hunt because they're so cunning.
Mm-hmm. And quick.
So I bet if you could hunt foxes, you would have a pretty nice reputation.
Mm-hmm.
Still sucks.
It still sucks. Yeah, I'm not a fan, but to each their own. When he wasn't actively hunting, he spent a great deal of time discussing hunting and had several stories that he would share with anyone who was interested in hearing them, whether they were actually interested or not.
I have a feeling they probably weren't.
One day in October of 1883, William and his foxhound Jack set off to go fox hunting in New Boston. After a day of solo hunting, as William was loading the rear of the wagon so they could return home, the shotgun fired into William's left shoulder, almost severing his arm.
He wasn't that great of a hunter. If he didn't, how does that misfire like that? Come on, man.
So I don't know if he just...
That's crazy.
If he had another round in the barrel and didn't...
He must have. Yeah.
And didn't take it out, or who knows?
That's crazy.
But miraculously, he and Jack were able to walk almost a half mile into the village of New Boston before he fell face down into the road.
Insane.
An 8-year-old boy named Henry Johannett, found William and quickly ran to get his father, John Johannett. I'm going to say Johannett. Who ran to summon the local doctor, Dr. Weaver. The doctor was able to staunch the blood flow to the best of his ability so that they could transport William to Young's Hotel in New Boston. Word was quickly sent out to his wife, Augusta, who arrived at Young's Hotel as soon as possible to check on her husband.
I bet that would be terrifying.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, the damage and blood loss were too severe, and William passed away at 10 p.m. on October 27th, 1883, with his wife and faithful dog Jack at his side.
Yeah. When you said that his shoulder was blown off, I was like, that's a major artery. Like the fact that he was able to walk, though,
Mm-hmm.
is
Yeah.
insane. Like, could you imagine the shock? The shock you would have been in that whole
Yeah.
time? Keeping it together?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, I don't
No.
watch those, like, shows about, like, people, the survivors, because I can't
Yeah.
fathom it. I can't do it.
Mm-mm. He was 64 years old at the time of his death.
And that's so old to have a wound like that and be like, oh, yeah, it's fine. Like,
And
let's
walk a
just
half mile trying to like bleeding
yeah.
profusely and trying to find help.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yep.
the November 2nd, 1883 edition of the Amherst, New Hampshire Farmers Cabinet noted the incident under the headline Fatal Accident to William G. Bruce. Quote, the community was shocked on Saturday evening by a messenger from New Boston for the wife of William G. Bruce, bringing the sad intelligence that he lay at the point of death at Young's Hotel from an accident while gunning. All haste possible was made in conveying Mrs. B to the bedside of her dying husband, which she reached in season to be recognized by him, but he died at about 10 p.m. The circumstances of the accident as we learn them are that at about 5 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, as a boy of 8 years named Henry Johannet was going for his father's cows about a half mile from New Boston Village, he met a man who was hurrying toward the town on foot, who simply remarked to the boy, I'm shot and I don't know as I can get to the doctor's. The boy had but a short distance to go to let the cows out, and then followed the man. When a little more than halfway to the village, from the point where he first met the man, he overtook him, lying in the highway, face downward where he had fallen from loss of blood. The boy notified his father, John Johannet, who in turn called Dr. Weaver. On reaching the man, he was found unconscious, his left arm near the shoulder being nearly severed by a gunshot wound, and the loss of blood from the open arteries had been enormous. The further flow of blood was staunched as much as possible, and the man taken to Young's Hotel, where Doctors Gould and Weaver did all they could for the unfortunate man, but it was evident from the first examination that he had not long to live. He proved to be William G. Bruce of Mount Vernon, a great lover of fox hunting and a gentleman widely known and highly esteemed. The spot where Mr. Bruce was first seen by the boy was not far from his wagon, and it would seem that he was placing his gun in the rear of his wagon, or taking it therefrom, when it was accidentally discharged, the contents taking effect on his left arm as stated above. It is not improbable that he was at the wagon and had put up his gun, but hearing his dog come upon a track, seized his gun quickly to be ready for the game when the terrible accident happened.
Gun safety is important.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Bruce was 64 years of age, a native and lifelong resident of the place where he enjoyed the confidence and respect of the community. He had served the town as selectman, treasurer, collector, and in other positions faithfully, and by industry and frugality had accumulated a good property for a man so situated. He was without children, but leaves a widow and 2 sisters, Mrs. Dunbar of Manchester and the wife of T.H. Richardson of Mount Vernon, end quote. So for those wondering about his sister Fanny, she passed away in 1873 at the age of 52.
Young.
William's story doesn't end there. In addition to being an avid hunter, he was a hard worker, and by the time he passed, he had amassed a small fortune to the tune of almost $20,000, or $637,000 today.
Wow.
Which left Augusta in a very comfortable spot as his widow.
Crazy. I wonder if she knew.
I don't know if she knew
like
just
the extent
how much.
Of it?
Yeah. Because some of that was from his share of the academy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you may be wondering why William's death and story are being discussed today. And that's in part due to his very famous monument in Green Lawn Cemetery in Mount Vernon, New Hampshire. What you may not know is that William's faithful foxhound Jack died not long after his master, and many believe he passed from a broken heart.
Oh, that's so sad.
Augusta wanted to honor her husband's memory and that of his companion, so she contracted a man named Peter Brennan of Peterborough to create a headstone for him. Peter's company, Peterborough Marble and Granite Works, quote, was the largest in the state, employing 8 to 10 men, and shipped monuments as far away as Iowa, end quote.
Nice. That would have been really far at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Holy smokes. That wouldn't have been cheap at all.
No. Planning ahead, on January 4th, 1884, Augusta paid $35, or around $1,100 today, for each of her and William's headstones, so that's $70, and paid an additional $145, or around $4,800 today, for the commission of a monument to honor Jack.
That's very sweet.
It took Peter over a year to complete the monument, of which every detail of Jack was captured, from his droopy ears to the nails on his paws and the folds of his skin. It originally even had a bronze tag that noted Jack's name, but it's been lost to time and was likely stolen.
Yeah. Stupid people.
Fun fact, Peter would only make one other 3D style monument, and it would be for his own son, who passed away at 6 months old in 1855.
How devastating.
The monument was a pair of high-button baby shoes with little socks.
Ugh.
I know.
Oh.
William's tombstone reads as follows. Quote, William G. Bruce, born February 1st, 1819, accidentally shot while hunting, October 27th, 1883, end quote.
I love that they had to shame him in death.
A little bit, yeah. Now, according to Atlas Obscura, the DeLanda Memorial Library in Mount Vernon is home to a book that was published by the Mount Vernon Historical Society, in which it contains a full chapter on William G. Bruce and his unique headstone. The book, titled Lives Once Lived Here, Burial Grounds and Monuments of Mount Vernon, New Hampshire, was written by Frida C. Day, who was a member of the Historical Society. Titled Stone Guardian of a Hunter's Grave, it contains in part the following. Quote, William G. Bruce's family had deep roots in the town of Mount Vernon, and Bruce was a respected man in town who made a living as a mechanic and had served in the New Hampshire state legislature, as well several stints as a town selectman. He was an avid hunter and suffered a grave wound while hunting alone in 1883. He died the same day of his accident, but not before his wife, Augusta Whitmore Bruce, was rushed to his deathbed. William Bruce was industrious and frugal and left his wife a substantial sum of money. Augusta Bruce used some of this inherited wealth to commission noted Peterborough, New Hampshire monument maker Peter Brennan to craft a fitting memorial for her departed husband. End quote. Augusta would outlive her husband by just 8 years, passing on September 6, 1891, at the age of 66. And unlike her husband, her tombstone is simple, reading, quote, Augusta Whitmore, wife of William G. Bruce, born May 12, 1825, died September 6, 1891. The couple are buried next to one another in Green Lawn Cemetery, Mount Vernon, New Hampshire.
I need to see the monument. I need to see the dog. Oh, so sweet.
I know.
Kind of looks like Chief.
And if you look at it, the monument is placed like it's over where he...
Yeah, it would be like laying in his lap.
Yeah, like laying on his chest.
Oh, how sweet.
Very sweet. If you love the show, the best way to support us is to leave a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, Good Pods, CastBox, Podcast Addict, and or Audible. Links to all of these are in our show notes, or if you're already listening on one of these platforms, you know what to do.
Oh, and while you're at it, shoot us a question you'd like to hear us answer on the pod. We'll give you a special shout out and address your burning questions all at the same time. The weirder, the better. Submit them via link in our show notes or shoot them to us in our DMs.
Want to be social with us? You can see pics from this week's episode, bonus content, and funny memes on X at Ye Olde Crime Pod, or on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and YouTube at Ye Olde Crime Podcast.
Speaking of YouTube, we have a special playlist just for our Can You Crack the Cramp Word segments with our guest podcasters to see who can correctly guess the meaning of some obscure Victorian slang terms. If that's your thing, check it out.
There's no podcast plug this week, but we do have a fun listener question from Carrie Ann. Would you rather have a ghostly figure appear in all your photographs, or hear an unknown entity singing lullabies in your house at night?
Photographs all day. All day. Because I rarely take photos of myself or things anyway. So, yeah, I don't like auditory things at all.
No.
I don't like it. Because sometimes if my fever's high enough, you think you hear things. And that's enough for me. That's enough.
Yep.
What about you?
I would also do photographs. It would be funny to have, like, because sometimes I take pictures of really random things, like something on the ground or, like something in a tree. So I'm picturing like some ghostly hand or something like next to something on the concrete, or like peering out of some branches in a tree.
Hey, you guys.
Like, I'm just picturing the hilarity that could ensue having a poltergeist type spirit just appear in all of my photographs. But
that's true.
I mean, unless they look like a sleep demon or something, then that would be kind of...
I mean, even then you can crop them out.
There's editing software. They're just always blocking your face. Like, they cover half your face in every photo.
You try to do the emoji thing, and it's the emoji to the ghost.
But it only covers like your half of the face, and it doesn't cover the ghost half of the face. So then it looks even more terrifying.
Every time you try to edit it, it doesn't work.
That's when the creepy lullabies start.
Surprise, you get both. I am inescapable.
I don't appreciate Photoshop. If you would like to submit some questions to get them answered on the podcast, you can slide into our DMs on Instagram. We're on Blue Sky, which I have to add to all of our things. And I think you can message us on Threads. I can't remember.
Nice.
But yeah, just hit us up, or you can email us. On that note, what's something good you'd like to share?
I went on a road trip with my husband, and we had a really nice time.
Yay.
Yeah. It was nice to get out of the house for a little bit, and the boys and Smooch got to hang out at Nana and Papa's house, having the best time. Willie, as always, didn't want to leave. It was like, he does this like really cute thing where like kind of like tries to slink away or like hide behind the tree or something in the backyard as if we'll just like give up and leave.
Just leave him.
And then there have been a couple of instances where like they have a closed in backyard and then you have to open the gate to get to the driveway where our car is. And there's this like kind of a pseudo woodsy area by their house, and there have been a couple instances where he like faked that he was gonna go into the woods and like hide in the woods until we left, and then he'd try to go back into the yard somehow. I don't know, but he did the little like fake out like, am I gonna go into the woods today? They're like, no, Willie, no, because I puppy sit for them later this week, so Willie's just gonna be right back in like a few days, so yeah, it'll all be good. But yeah, I just love, it's nice to see him enjoy something so much, and like it's nice to know that we have such a good place to house them if we were to go on trips like that again, because we haven't been able to. do a lot of stuff as a couple for a while with our special needs dogs for so long, because we had a really volatile working dog for a long time too. So it was just really nice to be able to get away and just be two people married doing stuff, like going out to eat and walking around. So yeah, but it was a good time. I got to have Waffle House for the first time, and it was delicious. I had a strawberry shortcake waffle. It was awesome.
Nice.
How about you?
I started and finished a book for pleasure for the first time in a long time.
Awesome. How did that feel?
It felt good. It was one of my guilty pleasures, so one of my hockey romance novels.
Oh, heck yeah.
And
brain candy.
It's part of a series, and I forgot that I had pre-ordered it a while ago when the third book came out.
Okay.
And so it like randomly downloaded earlier this week.
And you were like, what?
I was like, oh, new Kindle smut. What?
I am busy today.
I waited 2 days before I was like, all right, it's time for me to open this book. So,
heck yeah.
But yeah, I think I finished it in 3 days.
Nice.
3 days. Yeah, it was good. I love me a good romance novel. Because the formula is always the same, but
it's good
always
every time.
A little bit different, and they're all good.
Nothing with a good old-fashioned escapism to get you through the day, you know?
And I also ordered a new pair of glasses because I had
awesome.
I had to go to the eye doctor a week or so ago. I can't even remember when I went, but I hadn't ordered glasses yet. So the ones that I have right now, these gray ones, they have the same style, but they only have it in the rainbow one and like a bluish purple one.
Oh, that could be nice on you.
But I kind of like the gray because it can go with anything. So I did find another pair of glasses that are similar to this as far as like being bigger, but they have like a little band of like yellow at the very top.
Oh, cool.
I'm excited.
That's awesome. I'm excited to see them.
Yeah, they'll be here in like 2 weeks probably.
Nice.
I'll keep wearing my old glasses until my new ones get here. I do have contacts I can wear, but I always kind of, I don't know, with contacts. It's hard when you stare at a screen all day.
It is. And it's hard to find like the right kind of solution to make your eyes not dry and not irritated and moisturized without being like too moisturized.
Where it looks like you're crying all day.
Yep. It's a tough balance. It's actually a lot harder than you think.
Well, and with allergies being the way they are right now, I'm like, I don't really want to be shoving my finger in my eye and just getting a bunch of crap in my eyeballs.
You mean you don't want to be touching your eye?
What? Stop touching yourself. Stop touching yourself. That sounds bad, but it was my eye. Yeah. I go to work and look like I've been stoned.
You haven't slept in days.
Yeah, like I've popped a blood vessel or something. What's wrong with you?
Stressed.
I just put contacts in.
Having a hard day.
It's been a rough week.
Hard day. Oh, Lindsay, it's 8 a.m. I know.
It's been a rough week. Lindsay, you just got here.
Exactly.
I stand by my statement.
I said what I said.
All right, shall we? We'd love to hear from you, and there's a couple of ways you can reach out to us. You can email us at yeoldecrimepodcast@gmail.com, where you can send us story ideas, share any spooky stories you may have, fun gifts, or even just to say hello.
You can also reach out to us via snail mail. Remember mail? Our mailing address is Ye Olde Crime Podcast, P.O. Box 341, Wyoming, Minnesota 55092. Fun fact, we like to send out thank you cards with fun stickers you can't get at our shop, so it's worth the cost of a stamp.
And on that note, as always, I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Madison.
And we'll see you next time with another tale
as old as crime.